So you want to start a successful coaching business, but you are dead scared of asking someone to pay you for your services because it's making you anxious just thinking about it. You've got this huge fear of coming across as being someone who's needy, greedy, or being rejected. And I completely get it. I was there once upon a time, and this is a fear that I hear about almost every day as a business mentor, so you're not alone. But let's be honest here, you are never going to be able to create a successful business if you can't sell. So let's talk about how you can become a woman in business who's comfortable asking for money and also receiving it. If you're new here, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sumaya. I'm the founder of The Healed Sister, which is a six-figure coaching business, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And what I do is help Muslim women become confident, powerful coaches who are living in alignment with their Islamic values. And before I go any further, just a reminder that you can download my free Thriving Coach workbook. It's a digital journal that's going to help you identify what your limiting beliefs are, define your niche, and start creating some goals for yourself so that you actually make progress on this idea of starting your coaching business. Just comment workbook under this video and I'll send you the link to get it. Okay, so first of all, let's start by talking about why you're actually afraid to sell. And as honestly as possible, you're simply carrying a lot of money wounds. It's a mindset issue first and foremost. This is something that I've struggled with and that I see a lot of Muslim women and women of color struggle with. We carry a lot of limiting beliefs about money. Most probably because from childhood we have heard sentences like money doesn't grow on trees, we're not taking it to the grave, so we might as well spend it all, even when we don't have a lot of it. Things that really have set us up to be failures when it comes to managing money, receiving it, creating it. There's little to no financial education when we are young, subhanAllah, although this is one of the most important things that one needs to master as an adult. So if you're anything like me, you might have seen your parents work hard, like really hard, and never actually feel safe financially, never live in abundance. They were working day and night and still living paycheck to paycheck and still struggling. So there's this inner belief that in order to make money, I must struggle. I cannot receive money if it doesn't involve suffering. You might also have linked wealth with arrogance or believe that ease meant you didn't deserve it. And that's why you easily let go of money that comes to you. It's because there's a belief that if I haven't really hustled and struggled for it, then I'm not worthy of it, and therefore I need to spend it and let go of it or give it to someone else who might be more deserving of it. For example, I saw my parents argue over money constantly, but subhanAllah, they also hoarded a lot of things. So there was a real contradiction here, which sounded like we don't have a lot of it, but when we do get hold of a little bit of it, let's just spend it into things that we don't really need and make impulsive purchases. So there was a like almost a tangible allergy to keeping money, to growing it, to nurture it. It just didn't make sense, but that confusion really shaped my beliefs around money until I worked on them. So if we connect all of this to selling, selling is receiving money. And if you have a lot of negative beliefs around money, you will feel like selling is wrong because it means receiving money, especially if it's done in a way that's easy through a job that you're passionate about, which coaching could be. So for me, at the beginning of my coaching career, when I started making a lot of money, like we're talking about my first five figures, my first 20,000 pounds per month, I spent it in a heartbeat because something felt off. It felt really strange for me to be able to make that kind of amount that I had never seen in my life and to make it in such a way that was easy. It wasn't easy in the sense that I didn't work for it, but it was easy in the sense that I actually loved the process of getting that money. And that to me was strange because I had witnessed my mom, who was a cleaner her entire life, work from morning till evening, be shattered, come home and be paid peanuts and be paid peanuts. The French accent here. And be paid peanuts. And I had seen the same thing with my dad, who was working in a factory, and like it just didn't make sense to me when I made that first five figures unconsciously to be able to receive that kind of amount without really struggling. And you could also have a lot of spiritual limiting beliefs here that sound like rich people don't go to paradise. In the Muslim community, there's a strong belief that if you're doing well financially, then this could be your test and it could not be a good thing. And your heart might become arrogant and you might become a bad person. And I know a lot of deeply, deeply, really good Muslim women who hold on to these beliefs and convince themselves that they should not become wealthy or rich or even just comfortable because they fear losing their iman if that happens to them. And the truth is that a lot of Sahabas were extremely wealthy. A lot of them, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him, is one of them. Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, was one of them. And they are the reason, one of the reasons why Islam spread so easily and so beautifully because they were funding the da'wah that the Prophet ﷺ was engaging in. So is it really true that rich people go to hell? No, it's not. We have to realize that money is just a tool, and if you use that tool in order to contribute to your akhirah, then you will not end up in hellfire, just like those Sahabas. Quite the opposite, actually. So the truth is that if you're allergic to money, whether it's creating it, receiving it, holding on to it, that has nothing to do with faith. It's 100% related to your programming, and that's what we need to change. So I want to take you on a journey of welcoming a few mindset shifts. And the first shift to have is to understand that risk comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it has little to nothing to do with how deserving you are of it. Let me explain. Allah is a razaq, okay? He has written what is meant to reach you in terms of money and everything else, independently of you deserving it or being worthy of it. So the reason why you're not receiving and holding on to money is not because you're not deserving of it. It's mainly because you think you're not deserving of it. Instead of thinking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq, He's Al-Kareem, He's the most generous one, and He's also the best of planners. So whatever is coming my way has been written for me anyway. It doesn't matter if I'm a good person or not. And that's why you see a lot of bad people being blessed financially and a lot of pious and beautiful people struggling financially. It has nothing to do with worth, but it has a lot to do with husnul dhan, though, your expectations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you believe that Allah will bless you with more and that He will teach you how to hold on to that money and multiply it, then surely this will happen. But if you hold on to all the beliefs that we mentioned earlier, then surely that cycle of not being able to receive money, not being able to hold on to it, not being able to create it, that will also keep on happening. So you just have to park those limiting beliefs that you're holding and come back to the truth. The truth is that Allah has decreed who receives money and who doesn't. And the more you have good expectations of Him, the more you're likely to receive that money. And this has nothing to do with whether or not you're worthy of it or not. So stop making it about that. Now, the second mindset shift that I want you to have regarding this topic, which is probably the most important one, is that there's a whole psychology behind why people need to pay for a service in order to value it. People do not value something that they get for free or for a little amount. That's the truth. Think about yourself. If you were to buy an expensive item, a luxurious item, maybe the latest phone that you've been eyeing for ages, you would take care of that thing. Once it would be in your hand, at least for the first few months, I'm hoping you would nurture it, you would protect it as if your life depended on it because you would pay a high price for it. But if someone was to give you an old Nokia that had literally no value, just like I'm looking at my BlackBerry right now, I don't take care of that thing at all. Because it's cheap. Like the way that I treat my iPhone is radically different from the way that I treat this phone because of their value. And it's the same thing with your coaching services. I've seen it myself. When a client pays 5,000 or 8,000 pounds for my coaching programs, they show up, they do the work, they really transform from the second they say yes to that program. But free or cheap coaching, usually that attracts people who will flake, they will ghost, they'll miss sessions, they'll delay, or they won't do the work. You have to feel the pain of letting go of something that you care about, in this case, money, in order to change. See it this way. The price of your programs or your services are part of the transformation. It's actually the first step to commitment. So the truth is, when you undercharge your coaching services or give them away constantly, you're not being generous. You're actually keeping people stuck. And I'll give you another example related to paying a high price. I just joined a new gym and I paid £200 for that gym and what I have access to, as well as the support and accountability. And if I'm being honest, I could pay 10 times less in another gym and get even better facilities. Maybe not the same amount of support, but that's why I'm paying £200. I'm paying £200 because with that price tag, I feel terrible missing a session, not answering my PT, not doing the things that I'm supposed to do in order to reach my goals. I'm not paying for the facilities, I'm paying for the transformation. And with coaching, it's just the same thing. The more your clients will pay, the more they will actually do the work to reach their goals. And that's your job as a coach, is to challenge them to become the person they want to become. And that starts with the price tag. Now, the last thing that I want you to change in terms of your mindset is really understanding that selling as a coach is equal to serving, okay? You're not selling a product that the person will lose interest in. You are selling a life transformation. Imagine that you had the solution to someone's pain, the thing that is keeping them from reaching their goals. You're able to help them with that. And you, with that knowledge or that skill, decide to keep it for yourself. It doesn't make sense. Just like if you were in your client's shoes and someone came up to you and said, I know exactly how we can work on that thing so that you get to have what you want, you would want to pay for that solution. So selling your coaching services is not manipulation, is not force feeding someone something that they don't want. It truly is an act of service, and I like to push it and say it's an act of love. It's love for the person that you're going to serve. It's love for this job that you're doing with passion. And it's love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, because you're doing this for His sake at the end of the day. So see it that way. Selling is an act of love. It's helping someone say yes to healing, to growing, to being in alignment with who they want to be. And I really want you to understand that no matter how wounded you are in terms of your money limiting beliefs, you can change. Like I've seen some of my clients come to me and being scared, like dead scared of making an offer or even just putting a price on their services. And now, subhanAllah, they've changed so much. They've grown so much. Like some of them could not imagine selling their coaching services, and now they're making a living from it. Some of them really saw money as this dirty thing that they didn't want to have anything to do with, and now they understand that it's a tool that they can use to do good as well as do bad, but they've chosen to do good with it. These women had the same fears as you, but they didn't let them stop them. Now, I want to give you some practical steps so that you can also start selling without feeling like you're being salesy. The first thing that you can do is gather evidence that you are giving value to people. Write down every single person that you've helped and how you've helped them and what has changed for them, just for you to see that, yes, indeed, there is something to pay for here. And keep on asking for feedback, no matter if you're getting paid for the coaching sessions that you're getting the feedback for or not. Start building a proof file of the impact that you're making on a daily basis. The second thing that you can do is use your own voice when you're making a sales offer. Forget about robotic scripts that you want to read word by word. Like, I do not recommend doing that because then we all sound the same. And the clients, on the other hand, is going to feel like this is not an organic and human conversation. I give a script to my trainees to show them what a sales call is supposed to look like and how they're supposed to lead it. But the number one thing that I teach them is to speak to a real person and to connect to that person and their issues. That's what matters. Because the truth is, you care, and the only way to show that you care is to be yourself and be present in that conversation rather than reading a script. And if you are using a script, just make sure that it feels like you. Number three, pick the right number when it comes to the first price you're going to set for your services. What is the right number? It's a number that is high enough that you feel slightly uncomfortable saying it, okay? Especially if you have a lot of limiting beliefs when it comes to money, but it's low enough that it feels fair and it's not going to pressure you when you're working with that person. So, for example, if you feel like if someone paid you £1,000 for a month, you would actually be panicking because you'd be second guessing yourself and whether or not your services are worth that price, then £1,000 is not the right number. If you feel like £500 is too low because you have a day job and at that day job you are paid hourly more than £500 per month, then maybe it's going to be slightly more than that. Like your time also has to be worthy, like you have to value your time. So find the in between, something that is slightly uncomfortable to say out loud, and you're going to practice saying it before the call, but that feels right with you, ethically speaking. And as you grow in experience, as you certify, as you get more training, as you get more notorious and your time is limited because there are more people that want to work with you want to keep on increasing that price as well. And finally, number four, detach from the outcome. Like practice detachment. Your job as a coach and as a Muslim coach in particular is to show up and to serve. That's the most important thing. Allah is going to reward you for that, first of all, and that reward is much more important than any cash you could be making in this life. Whether the person who's in front of you says yes or no, that's in Allah's hand. It's not in yours. You don't have any control over the outcome. So the only thing that you control really is your intention. So make sure that you purify it as much as possible, and also the way that you show up. Those two things you can act on. That's it in terms of mindset shifts and practical tips for you. I'd love to know which limiting belief spoke to you the most in the comments below and what mindset shift you are willing to implement in your life when it comes to receiving and keeping money. Don't forget that you can download my Thriving Coach workbook simply by commenting workbook under this video, inshallah, and I'll send you the link. Again, it's completely free and it's going to help you identify your limiting beliefs, get clear on your niche, and start creating some goals for yourself to make progress on this idea of becoming a coach. And if you want to watch more content about coaching and personal development, then check out my channel. I talk a lot about this, and I pray that the content is useful. Let me know what you want me to talk about next in the next video, inshallah, because I'm always eager to hear more about content suggestions. That's it for today. I will see you in the next video, inshallah. Ma beautiful.